welcome to this episode of Connecting with Jennifer Filzen. Today I have an auto repair shop owner, David Marks. He is the owner of Quality Auto STL. He's in the St. Louis, Missouri area in Maryland.
Maryland Heights, that's correct.
Thank you, Maryland Heights. Thank you. I want to say Maryland Parks. I'm like, nope, that's wrong. Maryland Heights. So anyway, welcome to the show. Yay, David.
Yay! Thanks for having me.
And we met through Leon Martin. And, it's just such a small little world we have here in the auto repair world. So tell me a little bit about what makes you special and unique, both career-wise and just as a human being.
The main thing that I found that I try to do that, try to separate myself is it's back to basics. When people ask me what business I'm in the business of, establishing, building, and maintaining relationships. That's what I do. And the medium through which I happen to do that is auto repair. And I'm also a Missouri licensed auto dealer. So to complement the repair business, we buy and sell used cars out of here. I found that people like buying used cars at 3 to 6 range from repair shops. Like I said, I'm in the relationship business. So, we have good Google ratings, good Facebook ratings. I'm a highly rated seller in the marketplace. And we have all that for a reason. It's not just there for show. So getting back to me, the main focus is, people won't remember what we did. Nobody's going to remember that I put on a water pump 6 months ago. Or, yeah, I'm so happy that he did such a good job replacing that crankshaft sensor. But what they're not going to forget is how we made him feel. And the key to that is just making people feel appreciated.
Yes.
That's my number one rule for business is I'm in the business of making people feel appreciated. And it goes way beyond the customers. It's my employees. It's my vendors, the people I buy my parts from. It's the banker, the bookkeeper, the accountant. It's you, Jennifer. It's Leon. It's everybody. I'm in the business of making people feel appreciated because when we feel appreciated, we feel valued, and we want that feeling again. And I do. The people that I patronize are the people that make me feel appreciated when I'm the customer. I got a lot of vendors that I do business with. I don't ask them how much this is going to be. I just say just do it because the way they make me feel appreciated. I know I'm supporting another family. I'm helping this or I'm helping them out, and it goes so far. So, that's what I try to really do is make people feel warm and fuzzy. When people feel appreciated and valued, they come back. It's that simple.
Oh, so important. It's so true, right? And yes, relationships are extremely important. When I put relationships over transactions, I find that yes, those relationships that I chose over the money, guess what? They bring me more money because I did what was right and I served them. Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, because people don't mind spending the money. That's not the issue. It's, do they trust us? Do they feel like we have their best interest at heart? And what I try to do, and I'm not perfect at any of this, is it's educating. It's educating. Because
Yep.
when people are educated, then they feel empowered that we're helping them educate them so they can make the right choice for themselves and nothing's forced upon them. I mean, when they have their car towed over and it doesn't start, well, that's a different story. But in general, we want to educate people. We don't like to sell anything. It's advising. We advise people and educate them. This is going to actually keep your car, whatever you drive, out of our shop and on the road. The better job we can do that, well, that's building that relationship. They're not trying to just stick me every time I bring the car in. They actually care. They want me on the road. They want us driving, and they're going to tell their friends and family.
Yep. And you bring up a point, too long, far too long, the auto repair industry has been a reputed place for shadiness and shysters and taking advantage of people. And so, really, by educating them, by being transparent, and by showing them through, taking pictures, here's an actual picture of what's going on. Let me
Yeah,
explain this so you are informed, so you can make solid decisions. And you're absolutely right. Like, I think I read an article recently, the average age of the American vehicle is now 20 years old, and it's only going to get older as the
yeah,
part shortage and inflation continue. So
yep,
yeah, if you're looking at buying a new car, congratulations if you can get one. But if you want to keep your car, it's cheaper to keep her, right? So if you
yeah. No, the
maintain
chip
your
shortage has been
vehicle,
good
it's
for the
better.
yeah, the chip shortage has been good for the repair business and also selling, but also selling used cars. I stick with that 3 to 6 range, and there's reasons behind that. The other thing it's like I've discovered is this is just and this didn't happen overnight. I mean, I've been at this 11 years now. Being in business, I've been a technician for 22. Is nobody likes to be upsold. I don't like to be upsold. I have yet to meet a person that likes to be upsold. Yeah, it's part of it. I get it. It's and when I'm the consumer, I understand it, but it's the approach. I think there's a right way and there's a wrong way, to upsell, and if we put, principles before profit, I don't think profit's a bad word, but when we do it with with right principles,
Yeah.
and educating, then the customer feels okay, they're doing a service. Like try to relate what we do as doctors. We're no different than doctors, and it's like if we need to do yeah we need to do your car what we call a physical. We need to do those comprehensive health assessments. That way,
Yep.
the condition of your car. This might tell us, yeah, you know what, it is really time to get rid of this, or okay, how do I budget for all this kind of stuff, and when it's done properly, there's nothing wrong with that. But too many other places, they like to force what I call the list. That's the list of 8 to 10 things you may or may not need. It might just be a list. And when that's forced upon it, that's what gives this industry such a bad rap. Is no matter where, and the dealers are just as guilty as this as other independents in the chain stores. They're
Right.
forcing these inspections and presenting a list on people like, hey, I just wanted an oil change and my tires rotated. I don't. Why do I need to spend $1,500 on all these fluid services and blah 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 blah? So it's that's how we're differentiating ourselves from everybody else, is not forcing that upon people.
Right. Right. Good for you. Good for you. So now let's go to the next question. We all have people that we serve in our lives, right? We have family, we have our community, we have our clients, we have the various organizations that we belong to. Who do you serve in your life?
Oh, who do I? Well, it's the Maryland. It's the Maryland Heights community. I've been part of the local chamber of commerce for 10 years now. It's a tight knit community. The community and the city and the chamber, we all have a good working relationship. And this may come off wrong, but the people that understand that we need to make a living are the people that I love to serve. I mean, and it's really people that understand that we need to make a living. That yeah, we got a red roof, but there's not a white cross on it. This isn't a Red Cross Auto Repair. That's who I like to serve. And then the reality of it is the people that respect us and understand that yeah, we're charging for this, but understand that and value that, they're the ones that get the best service. They're the ones that will give that little extra care and attention to, that somebody that we don't think values what we do, because we know we're honest, we know we're ethical. I mean, that it's trusted services with no surprises. We live by that, and the people that really understand that and get that, those are the ones that get the extra care. That it's not going to show up on your receipt or your invoice. It's going to show up when you drive out of here, your wheels not falling off, because we double check to make sure we tightened all the lug nuts. We double check that we make sure, yeah, did we put the proper amount of oil when changing the oil? Okay, it's those little extra touches. That's who I'm serving. Is people, honestly, the people that understand that I need to make a living. We're not getting rich over here.
No, it makes sense, right? Because, we all, I came upon a situation pretty recently, actually, it was last week. And I was in a meeting with existing clients. It's a nonprofit group. And it was a committee, and it was me and another younger, less seasoned marketer. She really knows her stuff. She's awesome. Um, but what was interesting is that the topic was social media, and so
Sure.
she and I are the social media experts. And this particular committee knew really very little about social media. And so there were a lot of questions as to why this and why not that. And so really, we're we're like fluent in a certain language, and they're just new to this
Yeah.
language, right?
Everything's got its
And
own language.
and because they're new to this language, they're in a decision making position where we need to continue or be replaced, right? And so I recognize that they were less educated, because I'm drinking from a fire hose every day, learning my craft and
Sure.
mastering it, just as you are keeping abreast of all of your stuff. And you're
Sure.
absolutely right. There's a certain level of appreciation that goes along once they understand, oh, that's what you do. Wow, you're doing a lot of work. Oh,
Yeah.
it takes this long. Oh, okay. So you're right. It's that conversation where it's like, yeah. And so we even had in this meeting a situation where they're like, well, I had told this committee, it's really important that you guys get involved and actually do some of the work. So not only can you appreciate it, but you can take it to the level that you want. And they're like, well, we don't
Take
have time for
ownership.
that. They're like, can we have you do it for us? And I'm like, well, yeah, but it'll cost you. So let's go the route of doing the best thing for you. How about you find someone within your own organization to do what it is that you want to do? And they're like, oh, okay. But it was one of those things where it was like, you're right. If they don't understand it and they don't appreciate it, you might find yourself in that same conversation the next time you see them, like,
Right.
gosh, David, why did you charge me for this again? Honey, if I have to explain that to you, really? Like, I get it. I totally, totally get it. We want to target the people that are going to be part of our tribe, that are going to trust us, that know that we have that we know that we have their back, and that we are going to stand up and do a fantastic job for them. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
How about the other people in your life? Who else do you serve?
I think it's the employees. I got a staff of three. And I'm help feeding three families. I mean, they're dependent on me to produce and show up. I gave them all health insurance day one, good insurance, not nothing cheap. I got an independent insurance rep I work with, so I connected her with the employee, and I said, you guys figure out what's best for the employee, because I got three guys that are all three different stages in life. All three of their circumstances are completely different. But I don't believe in cookie cutter. I can't, cookie cutter this. If all four of us are all the same scenario, like we all had the same kids, the same age, the same this, well then yeah, but the cookie cutter, it doesn't work. And I think too, I'm here to serve other vendors, the people that I do business with. How am I making them feel? Am I being because okay, like my bookkeeper, like I'm big on my books. So the easier I can make my bookkeeper's job, the better service I'm going to get out of them. So everybody that I do business with, the easier I can make their job, guess what? I get really good service out of them. Amazing how that works.
That's fantastic. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah,
I
because
love
I
it how
told
you have a
them, I said,
holistic approach.
yeah, anything I can do to make your, because I've told them this why. I've told my bookkeeper, the easier I can make your job, the better service I'm going to get. So whatever I can do to help you out, let me know. And then guess what? It's my bill's not as high because they don't have to do as much work.
There's
And it
that.
doesn't take much. It really doesn't. It's just, I communicate with my bookkeeper 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week when I'm spending money, just explaining what charter, because I'm fluent in QuickBooks. I speak QuickBooks. It has its own language and I'm very fluent in it. And it's just explaining to them This goes in this chart of account. This goes in this chart of account. This is what this is for. This is for. This is for. So that at the end of the month, my income statement's done, and we're not scrambling trying to get it together. It's that simple, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time. When I spend the money, boom. If I buy something on Amazon, I get that email, and the top of the PO section, I put the chart of account it belongs to. I forward that to the bookkeeper, so they can automatically put that in. They don't need to call and ask, "What is this, David? Where does this go?"
Nice. Good job. Good job. That's fantastic.
So
So
that's who I serve.
that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so I always like to ask somebody what their why is. There's that thing that gets us out of bed every day, even when we don't want to get out of bed. What is your why?
The why it developed over time. I love that. I've read both those books by Simon Sinek, Start with Why and Find Your Why. And it goes back to trusted services with no surprises. It's making everybody, feel appreciated. Everybody wants to feel appreciated. I think that's the number one feeling we feel. When people feel appreciated, life is just so much easier. It really is. And it's not letting the little things, bother me. It goes back to the golden rule. Doing others as I want undone to myself.
Yeah.
I like to be respected, and I'm not perfect at this, but it's not prejudging people. I had one lady that she wasn't happy, so I gave her money back, and then she came back, apologized, and then took some, give me some business cards. I'm going to pass these out, and it's
Wow.
yeah, and that's because I made her feel appreciated. There's some things where I stuck to my guns on, but I just gave her money back. I said, if you're not happy, I'll just give you your money back. It's not that big a deal. It's not the end of the world, and ended up making her day. And then she was going through a really rough time, and she was going through a divorce and this and that, and she said that helped her keep her in her house actually. So it's like,
Well,
wow, just because I was, because I'm not going to argue with people. Arguments doesn't. If you've ever read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, it says what's the best way to avoid the argument is stay out of them. And I just stay out of them. I don't argue with people. It's not good for my peace of mind. My peace of mind is worth more. I think it was like $968, if I remember correctly. My peace of mind's worth of that. So you're not happy? It's like, okay, cool. I'll give her your money back. And then next, she's coming up here apologizing to me, thanking me, saying that actually helped me keep her in her house. I was like, wow, that's such a cool feeling, because she's going through some rough times. So
right.
that's
It's like you paid it forward. So, because you know what,
yeah,
chances are she might do the same for somebody in the future because it was given to her. Yeah.
yeah. The whole concept to me of paying it forward is that okay, if I do something for somebody, it's not having the expectation that I'm going to get something in return directly from them. That's not how the universe works, in my opinion. I believe when I pay it forward, it'll come back in some other way. Now, and you can't put this on an income statement, and you can't put this on a balance sheet. It doesn't work like that. It's untrackable. The universe the universe keeps score in its own way. It's not meant for us to keep score. I'm a numbers guy and I'm a numbers junkie, and I love numbers. But there's some things that you can't put on an income statement. I'd love to put all the time I spend on phone calls on an income statement, but it doesn't. But it doesn't work. The IRS doesn't work that way.
No, that's why you are a champion in what you do. And this is why I resonate with you so well, right? You're absolutely right. Like what comes around goes around. And when you are kind, when you plant seeds of nurturing relationships, helping others, doing the right thing, it always, always, always goes out as a ripple effect and then comes
Yeah.
back as waves
Well,
of abundance.
there's
Yeah.
so much fear with auto repair with people these days. So it's like I'm really helping people, and we're really doing a service. I mean, as going on to the car sales side, I sell a lot of stuff to customers. and the reason I do is because they trust me. They know, hey, the first 30 days is a
Right.
problem. I'm gonna fix it. They like, know, and trust. So, my why is I'm here to help people. Yeah, I'm in business to make money. Duh, everybody knows that. But am I putting, people over profit? Never putting, money ahead of people. When you put people ahead of money, the money follows. It's just, that's the law of attraction. I'm a big believer in that. The Napoleon Hill 13 laws of success, I think is what it is, or something like that. I'm a big believer in that. And when you lead with a principle first mentality, it's gonna happen. The
Yep.
universe will say, "Yeah, you've done good. Here you go."
Good
Am I
job.
perfect? Hell no. But
No.
I think the difference is being able to admit, because I'm the first one to admit my mistakes around here. I make mistakes
Good.
every day and admit mistakes, every day. And that really resonates with the employees. If you want to make your employees feel appreciated, admit your mistakes, because then when they make a mistake, it's easier to, I hate to use the word reprimand, it's easier to coach them when I'm admitting my mistakes and I can make mistakes. And that's again in respect. And when they got your respect, they'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure. For
And then 10
sure.
times, like that's right. If you want if you want happy customers, you got to have happy employees. It's that simple.
Yes, because people can walk into a place of business and tell whether there's positive energy or negative energy, aren't can't
Well,
they? I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. You've gone into whatever it is, a restaurant or an ice
Costco.
cream shop,
Costco is the best example.
Costco.
That's the
Yeah.
best
Okay. Talk
example.
about
I love
Costco.
I love the Costco we go to. I see the same people. People like doing business where they know the employees are treated well. And Costco is a very good example of that. And I try to replicate that here as best I can. There's another, it's called Masa's. It's a mom and pop Italian restaurant here by us. I see the same people every time. And even during this pandemic, when this is going on, you see the same people. So that means they're taking care of their employees. Well, that's where I want to do business.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Especially now, like there's a
Yeah.
are you affected by the labor shortage, or because you run such a great business, do you have any problems? Because I know that, like, knock on wood, I don't have any problems with the labor shortage because I have a really great company culture and I have a wonderful team. In
No,
fact, I
I don't.
attract.
I don't. And it's because exactly what you said. It's the culture. The culture starts with the business owner. When the business owner puts in the right culture,
Yep.
and knows that he truly cares, know the employees, hey, Dave really truly cares about me. Yeah, he's here to make a profit, but he's also, helping me put food on my table. He's providing me good insurance.
Right.
That's not, this isn't a dictatorship. To me, to build the right culture is I grab the guys together. We make a lot of decisions as a core, as a group,
Right.
or I'll empower, like with our service advisor, it was his responsibility to come up, here's how we're going to schedule work. And we all got to commit to it. You make
Yeah.
this choice.
Yeah. You know what? Buy-in. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I
Exactly.
don't like
Because
to use the
that
word
way
buying. I like to use commit.
commit. Yeah.
Commit. I don't like buy-in. I like commit, because when, buy-in means that, they're no different than the carrot in front of the donkey. And that's not what I want. You put the carrot in front of the donkey and lead the donkey around. The donkey's going to keep trying to catch the carrot. It's in a book. I forget which book it was, but it's when you get them to commit's different than buy-in.
Got it. Okay. I see the context that you're going after. I maybe because I'm a marketer, there's so much consumerism, and so buying in my mind is not necessarily a leading them around by the haunches, but instead more like that commitment, yes,
Yeah.
but like I see where this is going. I understand the value. I understand the why behind this. So yes,
Right.
I am taking that step forward. And so you're absolutely right. When the
Well, I
entire
mean, it's just,
team is on board, it's
I
helpful.
mean, there's no right or wrong. It's just my opinion on how I view things, and
I
and
get
and
it.
my approach. I mean, there's I try to, I try to look at it. There's no right or wrong. It's just, what's the mindset? How do you view it? What's it? There's nothing wrong with buying. Commit is no more right or wrong than what your version of buying. I mean, I could tell you're a rock star entrepreneur and you really truly care and value the people that work for you. So yeah, I think as a business owner, one of the toughest things is figuring out what works for you
Yep, for sure.
and
You know
then
what's really
sticking to
fun?
it.
I I've got a funny story I want to share with you, David.
Sure.
Actually, this word commitment is actually triggering a really, really funny thing that happened years ago. So I think you know this about me. My husband and I teach dance when I'm not running
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
marketing agency. Yeah, and of course, the dancing has not gone on throughout COVID. We're just social dancing. We're not doing our classes. But a few years ago, when we had our classes every week, and we were in Carmel, California, at the Carmel Youth Center. At the beginning of the year, I would come up with a theme. Like, this is the theme that we're going to do
Sure.
all year. Now, I got to tell you this to give you some background. So, the majority of our dance students are baby boomers and they're single. So, there are a few married couples, but for the most part, I would say 80% of our client base in the dance world are single. They're either divorced or widowed or,
Mm.
something along those lines, but they've chosen to be single and they're pretty happy about it. So this particular year, I decided that the theme of the year was going to be commitment. And so what I did was, okay, you're making a noise with that. Okay, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. So let me back up my chair so you can get the full effect. So
Oh, okay.
anyway, so anyway, I say, okay, everybody, this year's theme is commitment. And there's this one single dude. His name is Howard, and he stands up and he starts walking out. He starts walking out. And I'm like, wait. What are you doing? He goes, commitment. We're not going there. I said, no, commitment from one side of the body to the other. You got to get your full commitment over the weight of that foot. And when he realized that that was what I was talking about, not relationships, but
Yeah.
commitment to one side of the body. Oh my gosh, the laughter. But yeah, the fact that he was about to walk out because of the word commitment. So
Wow.
it's a funny word, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I got to wake up every day and commit myself to this place.
Right? Right. As the owner, you're kind of married to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, you are so much fun. So, what advice do you have for anybody who is wanting to be the best at their craft, who wants to start their own business, who wants to find commitment for themselves and their team? Like, you are so sharp. What advice do you find that you give out most often?
Ask for help. Ask for help. I was about 5 years in, and then to this said because I came from how I got started is I bought a garage with a house in the front yard, and then a business popped up out of it. But I was about 5 6 years in when I started asking for help. Up until that point, I was in a toxic relationship, and that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want. I could take up hours on that. I don't want to,
We
but
won't
it's
go there if
it's
you don't want
it's
to. It's
really
okay.
asking for help.
Yeah.
And so the best way to ask for help is it takes commitment, and it takes some guts, whatever you want to call it, but you got to make yourself vulnerable to kind of get hurt and screwed, because that's how you learn the right people to ask for help. Um, in the beginning, I tell anybody work with SCORE. It's a nationwide organization that's funded by SBA. It stands for Society Corps of Retired Executives. And it's a free mentorship business service through the SBA. We've got it in here in St. Louis, and I think it's nationwide, but it's paid me dividends. Oh my gosh. And, I got a mentor that's in my space. He owned multiple bus dealerships, and, he taught me accounting. I mean, how I'm not that I'm perfect at it and I got all the answers, but I'm pretty financially literate. I know my numbers. I know, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. I mean, the things because I see a lot of new entrepreneurs that come in, or our start business, and I told this one lady last week. I told a couple, "Oh, my husband does this." I said, "Well, then you work for your husband." It's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You gotta know your numbers. You gotta own them." I think that's great that he understands QuickBooks and that can do all that, but you got to know your numbers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, whoever knows the numbers and controls them, that's who owns the business.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
The fictitious name filings in your name, and you signed off all this paperwork, but you're working for your husband. And I think the biggest thing that I do is I'm just blunt with people. Some people said, "Well, I don't want to do this." I said, "Then don't start a business because you're going to fail."
You're
Or
absolutely right.
if you just want a side hustle, then keep doing what you're doing. I'm a big believer. There's three stages of business. There's side hustle, then there's job, which stands for just over broke, and then there's I love Robert Kiyosaki. I read his book. I've read his stuff, and that's where I got that from. And then there's owning a business. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
see it.
I've
Rich
got
Dad
like
Poor Dad.
all the books. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So, but and I always emphasize there's nothing wrong with one or the other. If you own, and to me, what a side hustle is it's no different than when I started my repair business. I was a side hustle, meaning that I could not. I'm doing the product or service, but I can't support myself. I still needed another source of income to pay for the basics: food, clothing, and shelter. And a job means that, yeah, I'm doing the service, and no, and because nobody starts out on top, so we all start at the bottom. So a job means when you own a job, you're doing that product or service, and you can support yourself, the basic needs: food, clothing, shelter, blah blah blah. But as soon as you stop working, that business is done. It's done. It's a job because it requires you to do everything. And then
Right.
owning a business means that I'm not doing the technical work. I went on a seminar because I have a 3-bay repair shop with a service advisor and 2 technicians. Is I could go away for a week, and the place stays open, work's still getting done, it's still generating revenue, it's still making a profit. That's when you own a business,
Mm,
and there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with any of them. Okay, it's not.
No,
It's not right or
no.
wrong. It's just, what do you want? And when people tell me, well, I want a business, well, then this is what you got to do. If you want to own a job, that's fine. I know plenty of people that own jobs. Owning a business isn't for everybody. Maybe owning a job isn't for everybody. Maybe it's just a side hustle, and there's nothing wrong with that. But and those are my other two keys to business. Number one is make people feel appreciated. Number two is learn accounting. You got to know your numbers. I mean, I have 2 income statements, 2 balance sheets, and I got them down to a science. I mean, I really do. And I keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, revising. And I got that from working with SCORE. I mean, I
Oh,
remember reading the book Accounting for Dummies. When I first read that book, I thought an income statement and a P&L were two different things, and I'm trying to figure this out. I mean, I'm way above that now. And I think the most important one, and it's the hardest one, is asking for help.
mm,
If it's it's asking, if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about the mastermind. I have a mastermind group. I have people, because there's things that my SCORE mentor is not good at. He's not the marketing guy. He'll be the first one to tell you. But for me to plan my next expansion, I want to buy property and build a building. He's the guy to use because he can dissect numbers, projections. He can help me with the SBA loan. He can help with me with that, and then I have Leon. He helps me, make sure we're selling our parts and labor for the right amount. And then I got I'm part of several groups. I have a huge, support staff, but it's also using them. It's one thing to be a part of something, but it's, we can either hang around or we can be in it. Which one do you want to be? I want to be in because we can be part of an organization, but we're hanging around of it. It's when you get into that organization and fill in the blank. I don't care what it is. Fill in the blank is when the magic happens.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then it
good
then
for you.
and then it's paying it forward. It's the what I learn best when I teach somebody else. When I teach it, I learn it. I learn it. If you want to learn anything, teach it. I mean,
So
just
true.
it's
So true.
it's
Because
it's it makes absolutely no sense. But the more I try to help other people get started with their little endeavors, the more I learn. because then it really validates that, wow, I really know what the hell I'm talking about. Or you know what? I have no clue what I'm talking about. Why don't you go talk to this person? And the other thing I found is, like, I understand exactly how I'm taxed. I'm an LLC taxed as an S corp, and I know how to work it. That's another thing I tell people. Now, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, so I can't give you tax advice. But I can just tell you, you need to get a CPAs and attorneys are worth their weight in gold. And when you find the right one, work with them, and they can help you, because the tax code is written for guys like me, and I take full advantage of it. I mean, full advantage of it, because it's there to be used. It's using it how it's written. I mean, I'm not hiding money. I'm not, not reporting when I'm out. No, because, the government needs their money too. I mean, that's what pays for stuff. I'm a big believer in that.
Right.
But hey,
Right.
if there's something that can be used in my favor, because Robert Kiyosaki talks about it. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. The
Right.
more you're able to keep, you're working the exact same amount, and guess what? You got more money. You got more money in there. So I mean, there's an ethical way to do it, and there's an unethical way. So sorry,
No, it's
because I
good.
believe too, if people that are unethical, it will catch up to haunt you. And I don't want to find out the hard way. So I do it. There's an ethical way to do it, and doing it ethically, the universe recognizes that. We got a universe. I'm a big believer. There's a universe, a law, watching us. If you're doing it unethically, I guarantee somehow it's holding you back. And I guarantee somehow it's going to come back to haunt you. How, when, and why, only the universe knows. But when you do it ethically, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. We attract the energy we put out.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh, David, you're amazing. I'm so glad that we got to do this together.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
awesome. Yeah, right? Everybody, I hope you really enjoyed getting to know and connecting with David Marks. If you're ever in the St. Louis, Missouri region and you need your car repaired, look up Quality Auto STL and contact David, and the law of attraction will bring you education on your vehicle, good energy, and just a really great experience. So I'm excited. Thank you so very
Yeah.
much.
No, thank you for having me. This was a blast. I want to do more of these now.
Yay! All right, everybody. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful evening. Okay,
Okay, you too. Bye,
bye.
Jennifer. Bye,
See you
everybody.
later. Bye.